Welcome to Subramani. The markets are not in great shape, right? There is always fear of the war happening, and what will happen? Will US correct? Will US have a recession? What will China do, right? So there is always this uncertainty about the war and other market conditions, and markets are obviously reflecting that, which means many people see a fluctuation in their portfolio. They have desire for some higher returns, with the safety of capital, which means they have to keep money in some shady truck finance companies based in South and stuff like that, which will pay them 11%, whereas a good company will pay them 9.25. And you ask them and they say, no, you don't realize, the expenses are going up, medical expenses are going up, etc., etc. So these are things which you hear. The oldest person who called me regarding this is about 90 years of age, 89, 90 years of age. He has got, hold your breath, he's got indexed pension, and he has got a foreign pension, which is I think a dollar denominated pension. Even if it is just $250, just imagine $250 is now getting multiplied by 85, right? Not 35 or 40 when he started, right? So, but people's fear that they will run out of money and be dependent on their children is huge. So people are worried. Actually, when I look at those portfolios and I look at their ages, I don't think there is a chance that they will exhaust their portfolio. But even if you are just 55 years of age, remember, by the time you're 70 or 75 or 80, you may start panicking, saying, is this money sufficient? It's very scary for many people. So if you don't want that to happen, what you should do is build a house with very solid foundation. So your day-to-day expenses have to come from very, very solid assets. So if you're in the US, it should come from Social Security and pensions. If you're in India, it should come from pensions. It should come from maybe an LIC annuity which you bought. I mean, when I say LIC annuity, some annuity, it could be a HDFC annuity or ICICI annuity, some annuity which you have bought, some superannuation which you got as part of your job, or if you are the lucky sons-in-law of the country, then you will have an index pension. Let's say you are under secretary or something about that, you will have a pension. And if you were a cabinet secretary, then you will have a fantastic pension, which is again index. So you will have so your life is fine, but that is not true for everybody. But that is how you build a foundation. That money should come on a particular date, 1st of every month, 7th of every month, you take a call. But that money should come, or it should come 3 times, 1st, 15th and 17th, or 1st, 10th and 25th, whatever. Make sure that if you are getting X amount of money, if you are getting 3X, get it as XXX, right? So make sure that you get that as a solid foundation for your house, and then now you have to build the walls, and walls could have balance advantage funds, other debt funds, etc., any other assets which would fluctuate in value but also remain reasonably steady. So a balance advantage fund which is put maybe 30% in equities, right? So that kind of a fund which will do well, and that should be the walls. And your roof should be which is subject to all the storms, should be your equity, right? So let your equity be there, but you will have to have a proper plan, knowing how much income you're going to get, from where you're going to get, and what expenses you will incur. Because I think having a plan gives you a lot of confidence, saying, oh, this is taken care of. I don't have to worry on a day-to-day basis what is happening to my portfolio. So yes, I know absolutely solidly adjusted for inflation, I have a very good base, which is my, let's say, in our bucket theory, which is bucket A. So my bucket A has enough money for the next 5 years. So in the next 5 years, whatever happens, whether China goes to war with Taiwan, or America goes to war with Mexico, or India goes to war with Pakistan, or whatever is left of Pakistan, my base income, my solid foundation floor of the house or the foundation of the house will not change, because I will continue to get this money on the 5th of every month or on the 7th of every month without having to worry. I know that annuities are a lousy investment vehicle because it will not keep pace with inflation, etc. So I need a big amount, and very inefficiently it is taxed. So I know it's not a great product, but it is the only product which will not go to zero. So my annuities pay for my day-to-day expenses. Of course, if you're lucky and you're in US, you'll have social security paying for it, but assuming that you have a pension in India, that will pay you for till the rest of your life. So that will never go to zero. That's a very important thing. Of course, the government of India can change the rules and say we will no longer pay pensions to people who have got X amount of service or did not have so much of service, something like that. I hope they don't, but they can. So that is the solid foundation on which you have built. So you have to rest assured that your money will not go to zero when you're alive. So that confidence you need. Most people need that reassurance and the reworking and telling them how they have enough, and they can afford to go to zero because their children don't need the money, right? So somebody has to be telling them all that. So first is that. Second, you have other your walls, which is your bucket 2 and bucket 3. Bucket 2 will fluctuate. It is obvious that the markets, if the markets are wavery, it's obvious that your portfolio will also wavy. But that's a time when you relax and say, look, I've got 5 years income, 5 years expenses lying in my bucket A, which is annuity, etc., etc. And so I don't have to worry about fluctuation in the market for 5 years. So in the 5 years, will the market correct? I can assure you one thing, the index has never stayed where it has gone to, whether it has gone up or gone down. It comes back to the average and you will get your 10-12%. In India, maybe even 15% return on your equity returns, on your equity portfolio, including the dividends. So that's not too bad. So that you will get, but you have to have the ability to stay calm, right? Then you could have some gold in your portfolio, and it may be a fantastic time to be selling some gold. And when I'm saying selling some gold, I mean partially. Let's say you have a 10 crore portfolio in which 1 crore is gold. So am I saying liquidate gold? Yes, I'm saying liquidate gold, but only to the extent of 5 lakhs to meet your day-to-day expenses. Let's say you're systematically withdrawing from your bucket number 1, but suddenly you realize you also have the gold which you left it untouched, and you have blocks of gold which you can sell, right? Biscuits or chain, or you have your pendants, any of those things made of good quality gold. You have the certificate, you know you can sell it. Go and sell something and use it for your day-to-day living. That could also be part of your foundation. Then your bucket B, which will be fluctuating a little bit, you can withdraw. And bucket A or bucket C, which is your equity and maybe derivatives or PMS, all that put together is bucket C, where you may not want to touch now, but suddenly if the market improves or if the market is doing well, you look at your portfolio, it might be worthwhile to even remove some money from there. So keeping everything organized, having a proper plan, and making sure that you withdraw from the right buckets, making sure that when the market is booming, you remove some money from that asset and put it in bucket number A or bucket A, right? So if you have 1 crore worth of gold, there's no harm in selling 5 lakhs worth of gold and putting it in bucket A, saying, okay, I have another 5 lakhs is put in bucket number A, which takes care of my next maybe 5 months expenses. You already have some money in bucket A, so right, so this is just getting added to it. Why did you add it? Because you have a simple principle of asset allocation, saying I will be in so much of debt, so much of equity, and so much of metals. That metal portion has gone up much more. Maybe it was 70 lakhs and it has become 1 crore in 1 year, and your portfolio has not increased that much. So it is not 10% of your portfolio, now it is about 11.5-12% of your portfolio. Fantastic time to trim 2% or 3% from that, even though everybody will tell you that gold is going to go up permanently. No asset class, no asset goes up permanently. Your equity index, let's say the Sensex without the dividend is today 76,000 or 77,000. I've seen it 100, I've seen it go up, I've seen it come down. I can assure you one thing, it always comes up. The only question is how long, and do you have the ability to wait? Those are the questions to answer, not whether it will come back. So yes, market will go down. If there are airstrikes on Pakistan, again the market will come down, but that may be a fantastic buying opportunity for somebody else. But if you don't have the cash, you may have to sell. Thank you.